Cutter's Rule podcast is sponsored by Courtside Rehab and Training. Whether you wrapped up the summer with a case of tennis elbow, can't lift your shoulder because of too many cut overheads, or you're an old, out of shape, slightly doughy guy like me whose body now files weekly injury reports from playing too much paddle, with their concentration on racket sport performance, Dean at Courtside Rehab and Training is the guy for you. Schedule an appointment today with the link on the Courtside Rehab and Training Instagram.
Gentlemen, let's get down to business.
Can you dig it?
You dig it?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Oh, season 2, episode 2, we have two young and up and coming players, Ethan Leon and Ben Lakeman. Last year, they finished ranked 40th and 53rd, respectively, which, when they did play together, put them definitely in the top 25, but probably top 20. Unfortunately, the team rankings, I don't know if they're using them anymore because they were not showing. Both young guys who I've had the pleasure of watching live. Ben and Ethan, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Sean.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
So the first time, I think it was the first tournament you guys played together, major tournament, was Montclair. And as I mentioned, I watched that match. Lucas and JK, as I recall, they won the first set like 6-3, I think. And they were rolling and they were looking good. And then the second set started and something shifted. And all of a sudden, you guys started rolling and you won pretty handily in the third set. So that was where I first got to see you guys. But why don't you tell me a little bit about your tennis backgrounds, and then we'll dive into paddle.
All right, well, I played at SMU. I played on the singles and doubles line. I played 2-3 singles and then played 1 doubles. Got to actually top 30 in the country in doubles. So that, relatively speaking, actually helped translate a little to paddle, considering it's always doubles. Had a pretty successful high school career. But I did, after college, try to play a little pro tennis. Obviously didn't work out. But fun fact is that Ben and I now work together at the same club.
I recruit him over.
Yeah.
So tennis and paddle, are you guys both working there? What is it, the Wilmington Country Club?
Well, no, so I started at Wilmington when I first moved to the kind of Philly area, but now we're at Waynesboro Country Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many paddle courts do they have there?
We're gonna have 6.
6.
So you're in the process of building some right now?
So we had 6 before, but like before Ethan got here, we had 6, and then they're renovating the paddle hut right now. So they took away like 2 of them to make it bigger, and they're repositioning them so we can fit all 6 back in. So the paddle hut's going to be like twice the size that it was before.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome.
So, it's a pretty good project.
And is that a golf club too, or is it racket centric?
It's golf. It's a pretty good golf club. I'd say rackets definitely come second at the club.
Okay. Ethan, I saw you were a 5-star recruit out of high school.
I was, yeah. The tennis recruiting rating.
And how about you, Ben? You're from Cornwall?
Yeah, so I grew up in London, and then like my family moved down south to Cornwall, which is like on the coast of England, like by the beach, nothing really going on. So my junior career wasn't outstanding because there wasn't much around me. So I just played I played a lot of sports growing up, and then I got recruited to Charleston in West Virginia. It's like a mediocre Division II school. And there we did pretty well. I went in freshman year playing 1 doubles and 1 singles, and became like an All-American doubles player for Division II.
Wow.
I got to like 9 in the country or 8 in the country, I think. And then I took a gap year, and then I went back, did my master's, and played 1 more year at Wayne State. And we actually were the runners-up in NCAAs. So we had a pretty good run.
Nice.
For Division II as well, both Division II.
And I saw you also qualified for Road to Wimbledon. What is that? Is that the junior Wimbledon?
It, it's like it's only for British people, and it's basically each like section, like we call it counties in England, but I guess for you guys it's we're much smaller country, so it'd be like states equivalent. And like the top two players in your section like qualify for like the under four. It's like under 14 Wimbledon, but for like only British people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Is it played on grass?
it is played on grass.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
And how did you get introduced into paddle? Who was your mentor? How did it happen? Obviously, there's not a lot of Brits playing platform tennis, Ben. So
No.
want
So
to
I
know
yeah,
that.
I never played paddle, padel, or squash or anything like that. So actually, like our boss is Vlatko Nidek. I don't know if you know him.
No.
So when I went to Waynesboro, I had zero understanding of like when the ball hits like a wall or a wire, like where it goes. So I was like significantly really bad when I first started, like very, very bad.
Playing
Um,
tennis.
yeah, I could hit the ball off the deck like fine, but I could not. As soon as it went past me, it was game over. Um, and then I guess we just had to teach it and play it for our job. So we just, I just kind of just got more and more into it, and that's it's a lot of fun.
How about you, Ethan? Who introduced you to the game?
So, last season I became the head pro at Wilmington, but before that was Lisa Murray. I don't know if you know that name.
I don't.
Um, so my first year there, actually after one of our staff meetings, she asked the staff if anybody wanted to play some paddle. But really, she needed me and I worked with my brother. She needed me and my brother to play on the Thursday night men's teams, which I didn't know that at the time. So she was introducing us to paddle. Uh, but I had no idea what I was doing. Actually, I've seen paddle courts before, but I had no idea what it was. So, growing up, I would go with like orange balls and just play tennis on those paddle courts. Um, but when I first started playing, I just wanted to play tennis. I did not let that ball go to the wire, so I was just smacking balls from everywhere, jumping everywhere, and if it so happened to get to the wire, I was just scrambling. Yeah, but I was able to pick it up pretty fast, and yeah, now I love it.
It's pretty addicting. At least I think it is. It's just the culture's different. After in the hut, if you have some beers or you talk a little bit more about the match versus I think high level tennis is a different deal, right? You play your match and then you just move on.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's much more of a social gathering and kind of brings people together, which is nice.
And how did you guys end up partnering together?
Was
So
it
when
Jeff?
it was Jeff, do you know Jeff Wiedemann?
Yeah,
So yeah, when I took the position at Wilmington, I was going to force myself to play more tournaments because I've before that I think I only played one. So and then I was talking with Jeff and asking who he thinks I should partner with, and he suggested Ben. So and then I met Ben. I think what was it like? I think 2 days before Montclair. So we like
oh
met.
wow.
We met for the first time, played for like an hour and a half with Jeff, and I don't remember who else we played with. But yeah, and then we ended up having a pretty good pretty good season.
Yeah, you guys certainly did. But Ben, you had played a couple tournaments before with Adam Salam, right?
Yeah, I think I played like because I joined Waynesboro in like maybe end of Jan, early Feb. So I think I played like two or three tournaments for like that tiny bit of the season. And then the next season was when me and Ethan started. So I guess we started at a pretty similar time in terms of like the timeline of us playing.
Yeah.
So you guys got off to one hell of a start. I mean, you beat some names that have been around a long time. I'll also point out you beat Aura, the Real Paddle Boys. I think that was the round one.
Oh, I don't remember.
0-0. Um, but you beat Anthony Casamano, who's a legend here in New Jersey.
Yeah.
The pro.
Is he lefty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
he's yeah,
that's the
yeah,
guy
I
that played with
remember
Jake
him.
Tool.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you beat in the match I watched, Lucas and JK, did did you was that the finals that you guys lost in Montclair in the NRT or the semis?
in the finals.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
nice start.
yeah, no, it was. I was honestly surprised.
Yeah. Especially for knowing each other for 48 hours
Yeah.
beforehand.
So from there, you guys ended up playing in Sound Shore, and you guys went out to where was the next one? Uh,
Westchester.
yeah, Westchester. Um,
And I think Long Island.
Yeah, Dwayne Hayden.
what? How do you think you guys matched on the court? Or why do you think you gelled so quickly after knowing each other for such a short time and having such early success?
I mean, at least from my perspective, even now, I still look at it as just a tennis court with some walls behind me. Um, so I mean, I actually throughout the entire last season, I could not handle too many cutters being hit to me, especially if it got to the wire. Because I wanted to hit everything off the deck like I was playing tennis. So at least from my perspective, it was a comfort when I was seeing tennis strokes on the side of me, because that way I can kind of anticipate certain shots coming back. And even though, of course, the sport's different than tennis, but um, like even now, I'm still relating everything back to tennis. Because in my mind, I'm playing on a tennis court with walls.
And do you see that changing over time, Ethan? Like, do you think you'll turn into a more patient player, or
Oh, absolutely. I definitely saw myself progressing as the season went on. I got a little more patient, playing, I guess, more paddle s shots instead of just ripping balls. But I think at my baseline, I'm still, kind of that tennis neutral player who's kind of playing paddle. Still, I'm still trying to figure it out. Um, and so yeah,
takes time?
yeah,
Um, obviously you guys have tremendous racket skills that someone like I do not. But a friend of mine told me when I started playing paddle, she's like, it's going to take you 3 years to figure out the wires. And I absolutely laughed at her. But at the end of the day, she kind of was right. For someone with mediocre racket skills, it takes a long time and a lot of muscle memory and reps to just instinctively know the ball's going here and I need to get my racket down there.
yeah.
How about you, Ben? What's your style of play? Why do you think you guys gelled?
So I think because I kind of, I mean, I still don't know what side I like playing more, deuce or ad, but obviously with Ethan because he's a little more aggressive, um, and he's got weapons kind of all around. So he kind of merged on the ad side, and I, fit in well on the deuce side. So I kind of knew my role just to be a little more passive and maybe hit some backhands out the middle, but nothing too crazy. I also think we just communicate pretty well. Like when we're at the net, we never like with some players, you feel like you get mixed up. Like when that ball goes down the middle, I feel like we deferred to each other pretty well, like we had to. And I guess just understanding like what roles we play on the court together.
And I guess going back, that you guys can attribute that to having both played doubles, right? Where you're in the middle and you got to know who's taking which ball, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, what how are you guys working on your game today?
we actually just drilled today, so
Yeah.
we just did some like cross courts, and we just practiced like defense, and then we're still like figuring out like I feel like we both have pretty good rollers, and that just came pretty naturally. But we're still figuring out like how to cut overheads like consistently. Like we can both do it, but I feel like it's not consistent enough yet.
Yeah,
Where we, in a tournament or a match when it gets tight, are we going to make that shot? Like maybe not.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, at
What
least
what? Sorry, go ahead, Ethan.
no, I'm saying that at least for me, it was like I said, it was a lot of the wires. So I mean, for me, it's just letting those balls go, just not driving as many.
So would that to be, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a smaller court, right? So, um, What surprised you about the level of competition once you guys started ending up in these tournaments?
I think
Um,
the like obviously you got like the young college players who are just out of college who are like, you kind of expect to be really good and tough. But I think there's guys that, might be 20 years older than us that are like also super, I that's why I think it's interesting. It's like I feel like this like in tennis is a factor, at some point you're just gonna get worse, but I feel like in paddle you can probably play at pretty high level for a long time, you know?
100%.
yeah, I mean, I think more
Fitness
than
is not really a factor in paddle, and guys that are 30 years older than you can humble you and make you look like an idiot, where
Exactly.
they
yeah,
probably wouldn't be able to.
yeah. I mean, the thing you don't see in tennis is that experience plays such a big factor in paddle.
Yeah.
Just that, yeah, just kind of figuring out how to play the game.
Who are some of the toughest players that you guys have played against?
That's tough.
Who was we
I would say,
played
I don't know. For me,
was it Ong
the
Ong
beginning of the
Ong and
season,
Sven? Did we play those guys?
You did.
yeah,
You played Sven and Ong.
yeah,
Ong's a tough out. He gets everything off the wires, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
he's fast.
he's fast, really fast. I
I don't
think.
know. Louisville Claire was also pretty tough.
Oh yeah, that team was a tough team. That took us a while to adapt to that match.
And
Like we got off to a terrible start in that match.
well, I wanted to talk about both those matches because those were obviously high level players that you guys were playing, but you played them fairly tough. I mean, Ong and Sven was 4-4, so you guys were right there, hitting alongside them. What do you think the difference was in the match?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us, especially towards that second half of the season, was learning how to close out games. Because I think we got a little more comfortable with playing with each other and figuring out, okay, whose ball's which. But I mean, it was that deciding factor which kind of separates those, like, I don't know, maybe like the top 30 guys between the top 20 guys, and then now the top 10 versus the top five is who's able to kind of maintain that rhythm and who's able to close out those certain games. Because I think in that Burris Ong match, I think we did have a lot of
We had so many chances.
we had a lot of chances. That match easily could have been like three sets. We could have won that second set. I don't know, 6-2,
Hmm.
6-3 maybe. Whereas I think the Pritsenko and Volclair was I don't know. I feel like that match was more in their hands. We kind of
They controlled the pace of the match, like the whole
exactly.
way. Well, most of the way.
Yeah, I think we were able to figure out certain things where we were able to kind of hold them steady, but end of the day, I think there were certain games where they kind of just blew us out of the water.
So I'm curious when because I have not seen them play together. I might have. I think there's a video on YouTube. But they seem to me to have two different games. Louis is like super fast, super athletic, and then Protsenko seems to play a very controlled, measured game. Is that so? So what kind of pace of play were they playing when you guys played them?
I think they came out the gates pretty hot, and like I consider me and Ethan to be pretty good at volleying and like handling drives, good hands, and like they were just hitting balls through us. Like in the first three games, I remember I was like looking at Ethan, I was like, we got to do something. Like we got to do something about this. I was like, I just felt so uncomfortable. I don't know how you felt, Ethan, but it felt. I've never played players that played like that and then executed that highly too.
Yeah.
Like it was like everything they took was pretty low percentage, but for them, I guess it wasn't because they made almost every one of them. You know,
Wow. Wow.
I felt like I was running suicide from baseline to net pretty much that whole match.
Um, was Anton staying back on his serve?
yeah. I mean, I feel like we got it. I don't remember the score to that match. Do you have the score there?
I do. Hold on, I'll pull that
Because I
up.
feel like we neutralized the chaos a little bit, and we got like we played a pretty good
6-4, 6-4.
It was 4-4.
6-4, 6-4.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wait, oh wow. So because we definitely went 3-0 down pretty fast. I don't know if we went 5-0 down. I don't know. Like we went. I just remember the first like 20 minutes of the match was not our game.
They jumped
So
you.
It was like the
oh
first two
yeah,
minutes.
Like it was, but we just found a way to neutralize the chaos. I mean, I think we just, and I feel like the good players like can do that a little faster. It took us a little like too long. I mean, even though it's technically not that long, but like we
I
weren't in those
feel like
first few games.
yeah, I feel like it really took us like a set and a half to kind of figure it out.
Um, and
Yeah,
again,
that's in-game adjustments, right? And how quickly you recognize the patterns of what's happening. That's so critical. But I know Anton's gone through different serves. He's served underhand. He's literally just popped it in. I don't know how he was serving to you guys. I think it's amazing that he can even hold serve the way that he serves.
I think he was doing that right. I think he was just like kind of tapping in. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
and staying back, I think.
Yeah, I think he was just tapping in and staying back.
Well, I mean, I think that's the other frustrating part about paddle because Ben, I don't know how you felt, but like I think more towards the end of the season, we were lucky enough to play some of those higher level players, and sometimes being at the net, I think, is much worse than being at the baseline.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's
There's a
almost
lot more
like,
there's a lot more variables at the net or baseline. You know, the ball's coming right to you.
hmm
The wires give you time to neutralize or set up some certain other things, and
I feel like there's a lot more at the net that can go wrong than when you're at the baseline.
yeah,
My
So
pro would love to hear you say that because he asks at the club players all the time in his lessons, who do you think has the advantage, the people at the net or the people at the baseline? And by and large, 99% of club players would assume if you have the net that you have the advantage.
yeah.
And then
And the
he
funny
goes out
thing,
there and then just moves everyone around with lobs, right?
yeah.
So
Well, the funny thing is, when I started playing, that's also what I learned that if you have the net, then you have the advantage. But and then once you play those high level guys, everyone's defense is so good that you're actually you're hustling a lot more than that.
without a doubt.
Mhm.
What was the other match I was going to look at? Oh, you guys played Mark and Guy super tight in the first set.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
oh yeah.
It's Short Hills.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
talk about
that
that
match was a lot of
match.
fun. The well, I don't know. I think we were able to maintain them pretty well in the first, and then Nunez just like went off in the second set, kind of just rolled away with it.
Was he hitting uh, point ending shots or just his
But
chaos where he's on the service line and baiting you and suckering you into different things?
he's doing like everything. He's at the net. He's cutting the ball like crazy. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think there was one point that he
Oh
cut the
my.
ball to Ben, and the ball sprinted back to the net off the wire.
It was pretty crazy. But honestly, in that match, I would say when I actually think we did better at the net. Like I think we could kind of from the baseline, it felt like when they were at the baseline, I felt like we contained it pretty well. But like when they got like if we didn't lob like we lobbed the ball short, like it was almost like the point was over. Like
Yeah,
they had point ending shots.
They apply a lot of pressure at the net with their spin and
Yeah.
yeah.
So but the first set, I mean, it was obviously pretty little nerves on their side maybe as well, and because they're meant to win that match, so maybe that was a factor as well. But then when they took that, I feel like especially Nunez got very loose and just slashed every ball.
yeah, he just got hot.
Yeah.
What was the biggest lesson you learned this past year?
Take one point at a time. Um, Actually, I think that came in handy when we played against Lucas Green and JK in nationals. Because I think it was maybe the third set where we had a stray of maybe two, 3 games that lasted about an hour and a half, hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. There were a stray of games where like we were like forgetting the score because it was just lasting so long, but it was so much back and forth and the deuce add, and it was all about just 1 point. So at least for me, that was the biggest thing I learned.
How about you,
Yeah.
Ben?
Like in terms of like strategy, I guess like that, like in paddle, I feel like every point lasts so long, so it's like every point's pretty important. Where in tennis, you get some free points in like serve or whatever return. But I think, like I feel like when I first started, I was trying to use like my weapons, like the skill, racket skill, whatever, way too much. Like just like, but starting to like slow it down and maybe like push way more overheads and lob way more balls. Because I used to literally hit a roll on every single ball when I first started. Like I did not hit a push. But then that also gives them rhythm. So then eventually, like, it's not doing anything. So just being like slowing it down
I think, yeah,
significantly.
going off what Ethan said, like just when you watch the pro matches and the high level challenger matches, just how locked in everyone is. It takes 24 points to win a set, and you can't have a mental lapse for one shot, right? Because you're just
Hmm.
gonna give up that advantage, and it's can be long, it can be boring, and you can be soft down the middle and just lobbing. But I think those, the best teams just wait for their moment and attack when they can. But you have to, mentally. I think mental part might be the hardest thing, right? Just not giving away easy points because that's how you're going to lose matches.
Hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. That's probably the hardest transition for tennis players, I would assume.
Yeah, I agree. Because like when you look at you guys, probably right, like you can cover the court really well. You both have great hands. So at a certain point, it's like, how do you guys lose a point? It's a great cut overhead, but or mistakes. So
Yeah.
it's interesting balance to find between keeping your if you get have great ground strokes, great drives, enforcing or imposing your will on the opponent, but also not giving away easy points and losing games that way.
Hmm.
What are some of the typical mistakes that you're seeing club players make that you guys correct when you're teaching?
For me, it was wire driving versus lobbing off the wires. Um, kind of whether it's the direction that they're going or the height they're taking the ball off the wire, that's going to judge whether this one's a lob or this one's going to be a drive, maybe the position in their court. But yeah, kind of finding that middle ground of can I be aggressive here or do I have to keep the point at neutral? Um,
Shot selection.
exactly. I mean, even for me or any player, I would assume that's probably the toughest thing to do in the kind of managing, um, with also maybe within your skill level, like what are the abilities I have? Maybe you don't have a good wire drive, so maybe you're deferring a lot more to a wire lob, even though it could potentially be a wire drive scenario. But I think though that was probably the biggest thing I saw in when starting to teach paddle.
Ben?
That's good. I think like getting like I just see a lot of the men and the women side, like they don't get their feet behind the ball. So like when the ball goes to the wire, it's always like reaching for the ball rather than like getting the ball in front of you by moving behind it. When you're hitting overheads at the net, like again, like letting the ball drop. If you let the ball drop, you have to get behind the ball. So like moving back and keeping it in front. So I think a lot of it's like that, like not even like athletic movement, just like you could walk and do that, just take 2 steps and get behind the ball. Um, and obviously strategy stuff too, like, shot selection, all that. But
And positioning.
yeah, I think positioning for me, I just see that like a lot, like all levels, like to our best teams as well, you know.
Definitely. Ethan, you had mentioned at your last club that you had played in a men's league with your brother. Do you guys what can you kind of go over the men's leagues or that you guys have played in, since college or any paddle leagues that you've played in, besides the pro tour and challengers that you've done? Is there, what are you guys playing together at your current club for in a men's league?
No, so I think in you guys, I think some of the pros they play together. Is that
Um yeah, they can play in the
yeah.
New Jersey State League. You play for your club, yeah. The pros do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean I think at all the levels, like none of the pros are allowed to play with each other. I think that's right, Ben, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now at
You
my
have to
old
play with a member.
yeah, you have to play with a member. Which I think is also good for the member because they we could also teach them hands-on
Hmm.
at the actual match situation. But I'm actually excited for this season because last at my old club we had the third highest level. That was our top team. But at Waynesboro that we were in the top division, so that'd be fun for me.
Yeah.
Awesome. And have
Mm.
have you guys only played in the in like is this a Delaware league? Is this a greater Philly area league? What is
It's called MAPTA,
Map day, yeah.
which I think is that a Philly league? Is that what it is?
It's a Philly league that involves some Delaware teams.
Yeah.
awesome?
And you're only allowed three pros per club as well. You can't play. So we have 4 pros, like male pros. We have 5 pros, 1 female.
Mhm.
but only three of us out of the four are allowed to play each week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and you have to play with a member.
exactly, yeah.
And
Yeah,
how many lines per week do you guys have? Four or five?
Four
Four lines,
lines.
four
Four
lines
lines.
per week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
that's one more than You're only allowed two in New Jersey for any given week.
Two pros.
Yeah, only
Okay.
two.
Okay.
Um, uh,
And how do they do that league? Is it sort of like a relegation system, where if you finish in the bottom of the,
Yeah.
like you'll move down and vice.
Mm-hmm. That's how it's done. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
what do you guys watch paddle? Either on YouTube or you know, and I ask this question in terms of, are there certain teams you enjoy watching? Are there certain people you watch to kind of see how they play or tactics or um, are you guys fanatics? Do you guys watch and paddle just in your free time?
So I actually was. So anytime I'd actually get someone would take a video of me playing paddle, I'd just like rewatch the entire match just to see what I'm doing. Because like when I'm actually there, it sometimes feels a little funky, but and then I'm watching, I'm like, oh, it seems like I was doing the right thing. But I mean, in terms of the other guys, the one I loved watching was Alvey. I just loved watching his push because that was also something I was trying to get better at as the season went on. Um, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'm usually watching just to learn for my benefit, and I mean, just to see all the different types of styles that everyone's playing with.
Do some scouting also.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true.
What about you, Ben?
I watched a decent amount like through the winter. I haven't watched it since like the power season's been over, but
Yeah.
like through the winter, like when trying to figure things out, like just like trying to mostly shot selection, like watching them to see like when this ball happens, like what do they usually hit on this ball, or like someone with like similar skills to me, like what are they hitting off this shot? Like if someone has a decent backhand, like when are they using it? Where are they putting it? But yeah, I like Durant Mitchell was pretty cool. I mean, they're obviously super skilled, super cool to
Yeah.
watch. Like Alvy Salazar is really cool to watch because like obviously very skilled, but they're not doing anything that like they haven't got like significant shots that are going to blow you off the court. You know,
Yeah. They're
they're
not
just
speaking like gay, but
exactly, but they're so good at what they do. So
yeah.
that's also really cool to watch.
That's what we had Guy Moore, who's one of the announcers on. We had an episode with about five of the announcers, and Guy was pointing out exactly what you just said, Ben, which is they do all the fundamentals extremely well. They're always, they volley well. Their
Rollers,
start,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
they do every. There's just not a hole in their game from a
exactly.
foundation standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both so fast. Just
Oh
cover
yeah.
so well.
Cherry on top.
So let's talk about this coming season. Are you guys are going to play together somewhat? What are the plans and what are the goals?
I mean, I don't know. I think us, I think it's still up in the air. I think, in terms of, I know we have one tournament lined up already. I don't know which ones we're gonna play after that one.
What
Um,
tournament is that that's lined up?
Chicago Charities.
Awesome.
Yeah, should be a fun one.
And that'll be your first time playing that?
That'll be my first time playing it. I think Ben played it last year.
Yeah, I played last year with Adam Salam. Shout out to Adam.
You guys got a lot of guys in that area that so we watched and apparently because I just looked up the club you guys are at, Waynesboro. That's where I watched. I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Is it Matt Muo or how do you pronounce
Matt
it?
Moya.
Moyo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played against Lucas, and you guys were both in the hut watching
Mm.
in nationals last year. You have him. You have Adam, Nolan Bacchieri. How do you
Vicari, I think.
Bacchieri? I mean, there's a whole group of guys in your area that are young and very good.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna play some tournaments with Matt. I think we have two or three lined up. Um, but yeah, that's kind of all still up in the air. Nothing's really set in stone.
And are you playing Montclair, Ben?
Yes, I'm still. I might. So I Adam used to work at Waynesboro as well. So I played. I Adam was the first guy I played with, and we then he started playing a lot with Matt. So then that's when me and Ethan linked up. We also have another guy at our club called Willie, who's a little newer than we are, but like crazy skill set as well. Like super talented, good tennis player. So I feel like I'm gonna kind of play some with Adam, some with Willie, some with Ethan. So it's gonna just see what clicks.
Nice. And how about tournaments? So I know, you know, Ethan, it was your first year last year. You haven't played Chicago Charities, but what was your favorite tournament?
Ooh, my favorite tournament. Uh, I don't know. That's a tough one. Maybe Short Hills.
Mm, that's a good one.
Short Hills was a fun one.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed Westchester. Because we actually Ben and I had a little rivalry going on with Andre Iverson, Tyler Owens last season. We
Oh yeah.
played him in like almost
Yeah, we
after
talked
that.
about that.
Yeah. We played him in almost every single finals after that.
Well, so Andre was getting a little jealous of the love that I was giving Lucas and JK, and he pointed out um, in a text chain, we're the only. You keep talking about them, but we're the ones that actually beat Ethan and Ben. So, but I know you guys beat them a couple times, right? Or at least once, if not twice before.
I think we played them 4 or 5 times last season.
Wow.
It was a lot.
Yeah, and it all started at Westchester. I think it was like 14-12 in the third set breaker.
And that match we probably should have lost, right? I feel like we should have lost that match.
That match, no, that match, I remember that one because we were up 6-4, 5-3, 40 love.
Okay, so not that match. Okay.
No.
There
We
was
should
another match we should have lost, right?
Yeah, the one in Long Island when we played against him and Owens, we should have lost.
Okay, yeah.
We were down like a set and 4-0 or something like that.
Wow.
And then we ended up winning like 12-10 in the third set breaker.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah.
They're great guys, both of those guys.
Oh yeah, super fun guys to play
Yeah,
against.
yeah. That was a lot of fun playing them.
And how about you, Ben? I mean, everybody says charities is absolutely crazy.
Chi-
what's your
Chicago was a lot of fun. I mean, just the clubs are beautiful. It's huge. There's players everywhere because it's like one of the biggest draws. Um, I mean, Short Hills also, like I love Short Hills. I don't know why. It's just great food. It's just the atmosphere there's really good.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, honestly I would put Short Hills at number one
Oh,
above
wow.
Chicago, just for me.
Mm.
Love to hear
So
that.
yeah. Um, also Chicago, we play. I mean, I don't know how many matches we end up playing in a day. It was like 6 or 7 matches in one day.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, we played a lot. I was pretty tired by the end of it.
Um, Luke, do you want to hit the rapid fire short lobs?
Yeah, so just you guys can kind of each, I'll just, maybe start with Ethan for an answer and then Ben, you can go after, but just, a few short questions here. What racket are you currently playing with?
The Xenon, the white one.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Was that always your
Uh,
racket?
No, so funny thing, in tennis, I choose my rackets based on how it looks.
People
And
choose their wine that way too, by the way, the wine label.
so when I was getting ready for my first men's league match, I didn't have a pattern. I didn't really want to use one of the demo ones we had at the club. So I just picked up a blue Wilson Ultra because that was the racket I used in tennis at the time. I just picked it up off the shelf and just started using it. And then eventually a year later I switched to Xenon.
All right.
Yeah.
Ben?
I'm like in between two. I started the season using like the Red Master paddle,
Yeah.
and then I also was using the blue Xenon paddle. Is it the blue one, like light blue? I
Blue
Yeah.
one,
think
yeah.
it is. Yeah, so I'm like kind of in between paddles right now.
Are you seeing a difference between using the two or more spin with one of them, or more
I
pop
think
with.
I drive the ball better with the Xenon, and I get more feel. I think the Master I definitely catch the ball more, and my roll is a little heavier, and my overheads are got more spin on it. But the I use the Prestige in tennis, so it's like a lot of feel. So I feel like I want a paddle that I can just feel like super comfortable with.
Yeah, I use the Prestige also.
Okay, good racket.
Oh, it's the best. Murat staff. What shoes are you currently using, Ethan? And I'm,
Uh,
obviously for paddle players, like I'm sure you guys go through a ton in a season and hopefully have warranties, but it's probably
so
something different than
I
tennis.
started using a pair of K-Swiss shoes,
Yep.
but then when I found out the Xenon shoes were coming out, and I just wanted to try it, and I'd never felt a more comfortable shoe in my life.
Then the Xenon ones, really.
Then a Xenon, yeah. So now
Wow.
once paddle season comes, I throw out all my tennis shoes. I'm just using Xenon shoes.
Are you
So
in their fold, Ethan? Be honest. Are you in their fold?
I'm not now.
that's an even more ringing endorsement.
Right.
Ben,
Usually whatever's on sale, but
same.
I my favorite like tennis shoes are probably like the Lacoste ones. I feel like
Yeah.
they fit my feet really well, or like the Adidas like barricades or something like that. But I
Yeah.
did try Ethan's older Xenon shoes once because I think for some reason I didn't have shoes. I think it was I lost them or something like that,
I think
and
you
they were
forgot them.
extreme. I think I forgot them for like I don't know if it was a tournament. I hope it wasn't a tournament. It might have been, but they were very comfortable. I have to second that. The Xenon shoes are super comfortable.
Gonna have to try those out. And I know you guys have mentioned some people earlier, but maybe just I was gonna say who taught you the game of paddle. You've already kind of gone over that, but if you want to give another shout out to someone that helped your development, and kind of someone you learned the game from.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to actually learn also from Cindy Prendergast. She's a member at Wilmington, so we would play every once in a while, and that was pretty cool. And then
Nice.
especially when I found out she was a legend of the game.
Yep.
Awesome. Anyone else, Ben?
Obviously Vlaco, and honestly, when Adam was still working there and I wasn't that great yet, he took me out like almost every day and was like drilling with me and like helping me out. It's honestly probably him. I probably spend the most hours with him on the court, just like practicing and drilling.
Yeah.
So
Well, awesome. And then just in terms of you guys, your rackets, what you're doing right now, I'd say just rank in order, what you play the most to what you play the least, platform tennis, padel, pickleball, and then actual tennis.
Uh, well, I guess for me now it's going to be a lot more platform, especially because we're getting the season.
Yeah.
But summer actually I don't really touch a paddle racket, and I play a bunch of tennis tournaments, try to make a little extra cash on the side. Because I still love competing, so that was also the thing for me for paddle. It just gave me another outlet to just compete.
Yeah.
Um, it was pretty cool that also was kind of like a tennis racket. Um, I did start a little pickle though this summer. That was fun. Ben and I played a tournament together.
Awesome.
yeah, we did.
Have you played?
There's money in that,
There
right?
was money in that, yeah.
And
It
have you
didn't
played
it
padel,
didn't
Ethan?
hit me as a paddle did though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did have you played padel yet, Ethan?
I have, yeah. I as a junior, I took a trip to Spain to train a little bit, and I was actually playing padel every day because that's like culture over there.
You're a padel hipster. Before it was cool, you were doing it.
Yeah,
Do you guys have pickleball at your club that you guys work at?
Yeah.
we did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And then how about you, Ben? Are you playing those other sports too?
Yeah. I compete in the summer as well for tennis. I play a little padel, like whenever they need a fourth, and then because it's always like pretty late at night. Um, Platform is probably number one in terms of like competing in tournaments, and then pickle is probably behind tennis. So
Yeah.
Do you see your club? I'm curious. Do you see your club getting a padel court?
I think they will in the future.
Yeah. I mean, any club that's serious about rackets has to be considering putting one in,
Mhm.
right?
A lot of the Philly clubs have them now. Like, there's quite a few getting them, and like for example, like we have like 8 ladies teams for like paddle, and like 7 for the men's team. So we have a pretty big rackets program. We have 5 rackets pros. So I think if we did get it, it would probably do pretty well.
Yep.
This is a funny one, but pet peeve on the court, whether it's someone not saying the score or, not hitting you any lobs and warm-ups, which was a good answer we got last week, but anything that kind of makes you angry on the court.
Oh, I got one.
Love it.
Ethan, I'm not going to say any names because I don't remember who this was, but we were playing a match and I was warming up volleys at the net and every ball was coming at me at like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I haven't hit a volley. Like that was the first volley of the day, first match of the day. And then as soon as we got in the match, every time this person hit a drive, it was like 20 miles an hour. And I was like, that was just crazy. That amazes me. Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
I know. I was like, Ethan's having a good warm up over there. It's like he looks like he's having fun.
I think I know who that is.
I don't remember the name, but I remember the face. The face I
Yeah.
remember. I don't forget faces.
No, I don't know. I think for me, it's just someone just giving me a bad warm up.
Yeah.
Or there were the occasional people who kind of give kind of like lackadaisical attitude in the warm up where they're kind of just like going through the motions and could care less whether he gets, or maybe that's part of his plan. I don't know, but there are those times where you get those people who like don't try at all in the warm up, so it's like no one's benefiting from it.
Hmm.
Exactly. Might as well not even do it if they're not taking it
Exactly.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think you guys have almost answered these, but roller or cutter, Ethan?
So I'm obsessed with learning the cutter because I feel like I just can't do it. Ben says that I'm okay at it, but I definitely favor the roller over the cutter. Even though I'm working hard to try to get that cutter down.
Yeah, to change that.
Yeah.
And Ben, I think you had said, you
Yeah,
almost,
roller as well. Yeah,
yeah, love it. And then Ben, I know you've been talking about your backhand on here, but forehand or backhand drive, Ethan?
backhand.
Yeah,
I don't know. Honestly, whatever looks juicy.
love that. Let's see what else. If you guys could have a walkout song for each match, would anything that comes to the top of the mind here? I know, kind of put you on the spot, but something that get you pumped up.
No, so honestly, for me, I don't think I need one for paddle because I feel like even though I know I want to win, um, it always seems a little more relaxed. But for tennis, I always had one, which was I'd always walk on with either a Rocky song, um,
Yep.
Rocky anthem, or a song called Enemy, which I don't know if you guys heard of it. But I'd make sure it's like playing perfectly so that as I'm walking, it's one of the lyrics is the main lyrics is that you are my enemy. So I'm like I'm getting in my head and I'm just like just staring down my opponent as those
You
words
need
are
to time
coming.
it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly, as those words are coming in my ear.
Perfect. Ben?
Back in my college days, I used to listen to Eminem when I was walking out for a match. So that was my like get me in the mood. Yeah, for paddle, it definitely would be something a little like slower, maybe some like easy rock or something like that. Just because I feel like you can't get too hyped up in paddle. Like you
Yeah,
gotta maintain throughout the however long the match is gonna be.
that's a good point. Some yacht rock or
Yeah.
something.
You know.
Yep.
Here, just a few more here too. Favorite hut, and I know you guys obviously, if you are gonna say your home, you're Waynesboro, but maybe just mention of one or two others that you guys would enjoy going to or have that impressed you.
Favorite hut. Hmm,
It's a tough question.
that is tough.
Put you on the spot here on Cutter's Rule.
I don't remember this hut, but I don't remember this club. But there was a club in Chicago, and it was a public club. I don't know if you guys would know, but it was like the hut was pretty big, and there were courts like all the way around there was a bunch of courts, but
Is
it was a
that,
public club in Chicago. It was beautiful.
is that Winnetka?
It could be that club.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane for a
The only,
public club, especially.
the only reason I know that, Ben, is because the APTA just released a video today about that club.
It could be that. That could be the club.
Yeah, it is public, and they had 6 courts, and then they got funding, and they have, I don't know, like 8 or 10 courts now.
It was a lot of courts when we went.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
Hmm.
No, for me, it'd probably be the Wilmington Country Club hut.
So biased.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that the answer is going to change very soon in about a month.
Oh,
Yeah,
when the your
I
S
think
is finished.
the Waynesboro one. Oh, I mean, I just like the Wilmington because you have that kind of setup to see all the courts,
Yeah,
and then you have a bar, and then whenever you're playing matches, you got a bartender there, so it's just super easy. The vibe is awesome. But Waynesboro is going to be essentially the same thing, but like 3 times the size with six courts surrounding it.
awesome. That's pretty much it for, kind of the those like rapid fire questions. But I'd say one more thing to touch on, before we let you guys go, that we've talked with most of our guests about is just, kind of the state of, slow play and what you think about speeding the game up. And, it's kind of been a hot topic, but maybe just start with, that they're not going to do no ad scoring, on the APTA this year. And maybe what are your thoughts on that? And then you can kind of elaborate on what you think about the speed of the game and speeding matches up and, kind of those marathon matches that we saw like at Short Hills and in the, national final, those 5-hour matches. Just kind of give your thoughts on that.
I mean, for me, I feel like it has to. I don't think they should make things quicker because I mean, I think that hurts the game more. Obviously, now you can kind of weed out more of the, who's ready to go on certain points, especially if there's no ad scoring now, who's going to be playing those bigger points better. Um, but I think I mean, again, that was only my first year playing last year, but I feel like changing the balls was the bigger thing that was starting to lead to longer matches because I mean the ball is lighter. I mean, I guess from a spectator standpoint, it makes sense to have the ability to have crazier points, but it also slowed down the game a lot, especially with everyone becoming faster. Everyone's a lot younger now playing, and it's kind of the whole new generation coming in. I mean, for me, it wouldn't be changing the score so much, but more changing the ball and kind of going back to maybe a little more old school where the ball is much heavier. And because I mean, winters are getting warmer, so I mean, there's no point of making the ball lighter. That's almost going to be like we're playing summer ball now.
It's a good point. What do you think, Ben?
I was literally going to say the same thing. I'm not a huge fan of like the no ad scoring. Like I
Mhm.
think in terms of it making it shorter, it's going to work. But as a player, I'm not like a massive fan of it. I
Yeah.
would much prefer like they change how the game is played and like go a little more go back to like whatever the balls they used to use were to keep points shorter and then I would much rather that than the no ad scoring. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think as a player too, like with, if you're playing regular scoring, the better team is going to win most of the time, and no ad scoring can kind of just lead to, things kind of going astray
yeah.
and
I
stuff
feel
like
like, yeah, I feel like if I was playing a better team, I would love no ad scoring. But I feel
yeah,
like if
exactly.
I'm not playing a better team, I'm going to hate no ad scoring.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Sean,
thanks,
anything else?
guys.
Yeah.
Really appreciate talking to you and best of luck in the upcoming season.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for having
thanks a lot for having us. That was fun.
me.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you at some tournaments this year. I think we'll both be at Montclair, so maybe we can watch some of your matches there and link up.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Yep.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Have
Great
a good
meeting you
night.
guys. Thank you.